Why is it the nicer the yarn you buy, the more work it is to prepare? I bought this 100% wool from a store I never even knew existed about 3 miles from my house, Central Falls, Rhode Island. I'm not 100% sure where the yarn comes from, but it's like kind of a mess in there, but there is really inexpensive, nice yarn. I think I paid $3 a skein for this 100% wool. There was a bunch of other colors, but in order to knit with them, you have to wind them up into a ball, because right now it's either this twisted pretty thing or that twisted thing unrolled is this. So I have a winder, and my mom let me borrow her skein holder, so I thought I'd give it a try and demonstrate. I've never done this before, so this is definitely not an instructional video. It's testing things no one asked me to. The skein winder is this piece that has got way more moving parts than I expected. I know it needs to open up eventually, but clamping it to the table, that seems easy enough. And then this little, there we go. That's what you do. Oh wow, okay. It's kind of nice. Then we put this, there we go. Put this here. And then we start winding. Uh-oh. Maybe it helps to have it kind of twisted all facing one direction. So I've wound all the gray yarn and I have a few takeaways. Let me just put this down. First, it matters where the end of the yarn that goes into the winder is. If it's underneath a bunch of other strands of yarn, then it tends to get tangled up, so you want it to be like on the outside of your loop. Second, it absolutely saves time. Historically, I've put the big loop of yarn on my knees and it gets really tangled really easily when doing that. But knitting is a pretty manual, time-consuming activity that is absolutely unnecessary, and we're opting into it despite the fact that it's very time-consuming. So it feels a little silly to overly prioritize time savings, because the amount of time I'm saving doing this as a percent of the amount of time it takes to like knit it into a sweater is just so nominal. That being said, while this is in my possession, I will absolutely be winding all my blue yarn as well as a few other skeins that I have that aren't wound yet. So if you ask me, which nobody did, yarn holder for your yarn winding is a nice to have, not necessarily a must have.